Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 4 of Supergirl called How Does She Do It? And this episode, yeah, there we go. This episode had some stuff that I liked in it, but this one, So let's just kind of get right into it. First of all, I really have nothing to say about the whole Jimmy Olsen, Lucy Lane thing, except that it bored me to tears. On paper, this is one of those things that sounds like it could have been interesting, but just wasn't feeling it. And I don't lay any real blame on the actors or anything like that. It's just sometimes things either click with you or they don't. And this time around, the Jimmy stuff and Jimmy and Lucy stuff just didn't click for me. Now, Cat Grant's son. Now, this was a nice addition. It definitely does a nice job of humanizing her. And again, because the episodes are being shown out of order here, this is our first hint that Cat has some really serious, this chronologically, was our first hint that Cat has some rather serious issues with her mom. We get another nice little mention of Lois Lane here, which was cool. Now, her son in the comics was actually named Adam, and he ended up getting murdered, as I've said, by the Toy Man. So, and the fallout from that, I remember reading it in the comics, and it was actually quite really well done. Cat became this, very serious crusader of, trying to help children who avoid, well, basically kind of like make sure no other children didn't fall victim to bad guys the way her son did. And I thought it was quite a well written story. Now it's interesting, of course, that her son spends that time hanging out with Win, who, of course, proper name is Winslow Schott, who is in the comics Toy Man. Of course, if you've been paying attention to the casting news, you know there's a little bit more to it than that. And of course, from the chronologically next episode, Livewire, we know that Win does not have a very good relationship with his father, but it is kind of nice that he has those toys on his desk, which he takes very, very seriously. Something, well, a nice little nod there, but I'm not of the opinion that Win is going to turn out to be a bad guy like his dad anytime soon. Win seems to genuinely be a good person, which is cool. So yeah, nice moment there with him, just sort of chilling with the kid, having some fun, helping bring this kid out of his shell. And when, kind of pitching in at the train station, again, nice moment for him as a character. I'm a little disappointed with the whole Maxwell Lord thing. They just really went to, okay, Maxwell Lord is looking to be Supergirl's Lex Luthor. And, I mean, we've already got her aunt, who's seems to be stepping in to be her General Zod. And not that this is bad in any way, but you're just taking classic Superman villains, changing them just a little bit, and making them Supergirl villains. And I think Supergirl kind of deserves a little bit better than that. I mean, there's all these villains they have laying around the DC universe that they could appropriate for characters who are probably never going to have TV shows or anything like that. So why not use them? Now, I understand wanting to tap into the whole Superman mythos, but Arrow and Flash have shown that yanking villains from all corners of the DC universe can work out pretty well. I mean, for example, the big bad this season over on Arrow, Damian Dark, is a character from the Teen Titans comics. So, but again, the show only has really 5 episodes under her belt, and oh yeah, Livewire, straight Superman villain, basically. Maxwell Lord, more kind of a Justice League character, so I'll give him some leeway on that one. But still, I mean, just when he that whole thing, the speech at the end, it's just like, oh man, this so feels like the kind of conversation Superman would have with Lex Luthor, right down to the "I'm gonna be watching you." I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, I hope there's some kind of a better payoff, for a stronger payoff for that in the future, because those kind of moments can be cool. One of my all-time favorite Superman Lex Luthor moments was in Lex Luthor Man of Steel. The Lex Luthor Man of Steel miniseries written by Brian Azzarello with Lee Bermejo, I think, was on art. And this whole story is basically just sort of told from Lex Luthor's point of view, and it's really cool. It's a really great story. And Superman only ever pops up to speak once. At the very end, he says 2 sentences. And it's basically at the end of it, Lex has had another one of his interesting little escapades, and he's Superman, kind of floats outside of the window just to sort of look at him and say, like, man, Lex, one of these days I'm going to take you down. And he never says anything. And Lex just kind of goes and rants and raves about him. It's like, you lousy alien, your whole existence just demeans the worth of humanity and all this other stuff. You don't understand what's going on in my heart. You don't understand the things I've sacrificed in order to try and make a better world, with a world where we don't need the likes of you. And I mean, it's just Lex going off on this big rant about, why the world doesn't need Superman and why he's sort of the real hero in the whole situation. And he's just like, you can't see what's in my soul. And Superman speaks then, and he says, you're wrong. I can see your soul. And Lex just collapses into his chair, turns away, puts his hand on his head, and just goes, go. Please, just go. And then Superman flies away, and I was just like, oh my god. That was so damn cool. Sorry for spoiling the ending to that, but seriously, go read it. It's damn good stuff. And I would love for Kara to have a moment like that with Maxwell Lord somewhere down the line. Maybe this season, maybe in the future. Supergirl, from what I understand, is going over pretty well with people, so it wouldn't surprise me if it gets picked up for a second season. So, yeah. The whole thing with the train is just like, again, just not feeling it. Now, Hank Henshaw stuff. Okay, here we get to see him demonstrate superhuman strength. Okay, so we got the eyes, we got the super strength. I mean, again, there's a lot of ways this could still go, but ooh, I'm bucking for Martian Manhunter. I so want him to turn out to be Martian Manhunter, because Martian Manhunter is awesome. I love Martian Manhunter. He's a cool character. And it would certainly be interesting to sort of switch the whole person who sort of plays the mentor to Supergirl from Superman to Martian Manhunter. But then again, does Kara really need that? Does she really need a mentor? Or does she maybe need somebody who's an alien, who's not connected to her by blood, who kind of understands her situation a little bit? Martian Manhunter is somebody who would fit that bill, and from what I understand from the casting news, there might be another established DC character or two popping up in the near future who could also relate to some of Kara's circumstances. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Let me see. Oh yes, just to talk about Alex for a moment. Good stuff here with her. Going out there. When isn't she supposed to be like a biologist or something like that? Why the hell does she know how to disarm bombs? I don't know. I guess if when you become a government secret agent, they teach you to do all that stuff. It's like, wait, wasn't there like a line in those Mission Impossible movies where somebody says to Tom Cruise, like, so they teach you to ride motorcycles like that at secret agent school? And I'm like, yeah, why would they teach you to ride motorcycles like that at secret agent school? I mean, okay, whatever. But I really like that conversation between her and Maxwell Lord, because if you stop and think about it, every time Maxwell Lord opens his mouth, he's saying what you can tell is easily the thing that's going to earn him the most amount of sympathy from Alex. Every single time. Every single thing he does, every single thing he says. Now, I don't think Max has the slightest clue that Kara is Supergirl. But it really wouldn't surprise me if he knows that Alex is more than who she says he is. More than she says she is, I should say. So, and wouldn't that be interesting? Alex kind of taking Maxwell Lord's side, like, no, he's not a bad guy. He's a dude who's caught a lot of tough breaks in life and is just trying out there to go do good. And Kara's like, no, Maxwell Lord is a super, super bad, evil dude. I mean, that's classic comic book stuff. I can totally see them doing that. And yeah, I think we're going to call it here, guys. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi. Until next time, take care and have a good one.